And they came after you hard. They were coming, spy, this, that. What was your reaction when you realized there's a campaign here to paint me with this brush?
Yeah. I had heard this stuff before.
Tulsi Gabbard shocks Dr. Phil with her comments about why she left the Democratic Party in this clip from Dr. Phil Primetime. As we've seen, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., Elon Musk, and others leaving the left because the Democratic Party is corrupt and insane. And Tulsi Gabbard reveals the moment she knew they betrayed her to Dr. Phil. Folks, let's jump in.
What it was when you were enthralled with it, when you said, this is my home. What pushed it off of that?
Like point where I saw and felt a major shift was when President Trump ran for office in 2016. I think it was already kind of starting to move in that direction. Like I said, with President Obama, it was 2013 at that time. They weren't interested in having Democrats who disagreed with the president, which was problematic in and of itself. And we saw the same under Republicans under President Bush, that they wouldn't go against their president, even if they knew that his policy was wrong. We don't want blind followers of any political party. But the shift in President Trump's election was very significant, where all of a sudden, if any member disagreed with the Democrat Party, you were told, well, if you don't go along with us, then you're supporting Trump, you're supporting this dictator, they said, this fascist, and all of the names that they threw out there. They threw out the Russia hoax. There were all of these different tactics that they were using to try to force this total compliance, really through fear-mongering.
And this Russia thing, that splashed up on you.
Yes, it did.
Where did that come from?
It came from this, I was going to say it came from Hillary Clinton. She was certainly the most high-profile person to push it. But really, when you look now over time, it's something that comes from their tried and true playbook, where anyone, because it's Donald Trump, it's Bobby Kennedy, it's me, it's, even Elon Musk, they're trotting it out right now in this election. They did it with the Hunter Biden laptop. It is the excuse that they use to try to discredit a person or information that they don't want voters to hear from or to see or be exposed to.
And they came after you hard. They were coming, spy, this, that. What was your reaction when you realized there's a campaign here to paint me with this brush?
Yeah. I had heard this stuff before. What surprised me was the day that I announced my candidacy for president. That week leading up to it, we had heard from NBC News. They were asking some questions about, like, my associations with Russia or whatever. Like, I've never been to Russia. I've never met Putin. I don't know what exactly they were talking about. And NBC News came out with this hit piece literally as I was walking up on the stage to deliver my speech. And it was a hit piece that planted the seeds for this, there are some suspicious or potential nefarious associations with Russia or whatever it was. But that's what the article was about. They bumped it up so that it was released on the date. And that's kind of what showed the hand of, okay, well, this is, the legacy propaganda media of NBC is in on it. And then it started coming from a lot of different directions. And then Hillary Clinton brought it in. And it's so insane on its face because none of them asked Hillary Clinton for evidence or proof. And the thing that bothered me the most was that people believe this.
Yeah, folks, when your party starts to become all the things that you fear and then chooses to stab you in the back, yeah, that I would say that would give anybody cause to really take a hard look and say, who am I working with? Like, who are these people? And I mean, Hillary Clinton has been tied to scandal after scandal after scandal. I think she ended up having to pay a fine from the SEC over the fake Russia dossier, and yet no one goes to jail. The 51 intelligence informants that confirmed all of it, no one goes to jail or gets punished for anything. And that's the thing, is these people who want to silence everyone else, look, if you were doing everything on the up and up, you shouldn't have anything to worry about, right? Like, I'm doing things right. I'm doing things the way it's supposed to be done. I'm not doing anything wrong. Cool. Let's take a look at everything. Anytime someone wants to silence, crush, constantly just get rid of, right? That is a sign someone is doing something guilty and they don't want you to look at it. They don't want it exposed. They don't want to deal with the conversation or put it in the open or have a 3-hour sit down with Joe Rogan. No, they don't want any of that. They don't want hard-hitting questions of people actually really asking them about what's going on and what's wrong. No, they just want yes people. They want yes faces to say yes, to follow the mantra, to follow the cult, no matter where it goes, and don't question anything. Anyone who does that is doing something guilty and they're trying to hide it from you, because otherwise you would have no problem. Hey, take a look, check it out. No problem, right? I mean, Tulsi Gabbard absolutely got axed in the back by Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party. And I mean, like she said herself, the whole conspiracy between the legacy media, the whole engine that was used against Donald Trump then got used against her. Either do what we say or else. For all the times they want to yell and scream and accuse Trump of being fascist and, Nazi and Hitler and all that. What does all of that sound like? Like, I remember what happened during COVID. Don't you? Like, only one side was trying to ram anything down your throat or into your arm. But let me know what you think about that in the comments. Leave a like. Let's get back in.
And not a single one of them said like, oh, okay, well, I'm still serving in the military today. I've been in for over 21 years. Not a single one of them said, hey, this is a member of Congress on the Armed Services and Foreign Affairs Committee who has access to the highest level of security briefings, who still wears the uniform and is serving our country. Hillary Clinton, how can you call this person an asset of Russia or a puppet of Russia? Where's your proof? Because if you got proof, you better show it, because if that's true, then I shouldn't have access to any of this stuff.
Well, no.
It never, ever happened. I know why, but the problem was, and I had numerous interactions with voters as I was running for president who believed her. And they were so, great Americans who believed her. And when they met me, were so deeply troubled and concerned by this. This one woman in South Carolina, I remember very clearly, she's a local county chair of this very small rural Democrat party. We had a town hall and a little barbecue shack in the middle of nowhere. And she came up to me with her eyes welled up with tears, and she put her hands on my shoulders and told me how troubled she was to hear this. And she looked into my eyes. She said, Tulsi, are you working for Russia? And it just broke my heart to see the effect of their propaganda and how damaging it is, really to our democracy. That instead of us having a conversation of her saying, hey, let's talk about your policy on healthcare. Let's talk about your policy and position on education. They plant these seeds in order to make it so that people are suspicious. And, I gave her a hug and I told her I'm willing to give my life for my country.
Yeah, I remember when they started saying that about Tulsi Gabbard. There was no pushback. There was no anything. There was no question. It was like, oh, well, Hillary Clinton said it, which kind of shows you who basically the legacy media follows. Folks, the corruption, the brainwashing by the left of, everybody, America, everybody at large, TikTok, Facebook, all of these things are just pumping this in front of everybody. I think everyone needs to take a moment, step back, and just kind of talk to the people around you and realize that this is the matrix. This is the matrix that they want you to get sucked into so they can make you hate people like Donald Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon, whoever they want, so they can control you. I don't think Dr. Phil is going to really think this is a conducive for society or anything like that. I would argue Dr. Phil would say this is awful for society to do this, just on a, functional level. But here we are in 2024 in America, and we have this engine inside of our own government that targets Americans who just want to point out anything wrong and anything that's going bad, anything that's going. No, this is the same stuff they do in China, folks. Literally, the Communist Chinese Party. Same thing. Same exact thing. All while accusing everyone else of doing the very thing that they are doing. Folks, this is on the heels of the election. It's going to be crazy. Hey, I'm with Tulsi Gabbard, Donald Trump, all of them. I know which way I'm voting. I hope you know which way you're voting. And let's all take care of our country together. Folks, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you thought about everything I said on this episode and what you thought about what Tulsi Gabbard had to say to Dr. Phil in this clip from Dr. Phil Primetime. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you on the next one.